Matt Ritchie, what have you seen of him that has got him into the squad?
Well, to be fair, he's between himself and Bournemouth have dragged themselves right into our vision with the way that Bournemouth have played. They've been terrific. I watched them a lot this year. Matt's been integral to the success, although they are a smashing side with some good players. I think he's scored about 12-13 goals now. A lot of assists. Likes to play the way we like to play. Good pass of the ball. Determination and a willingness to learn. So all these things have, and it's been over the last 3 or 4 months, that break with us has been good. We can have a look at players that have been mentioned to us, and when we've seen Matt, it's never failed.
In those 3-4 months, how much do you feel has changed in terms of maybe the fact you have more options personnel-wise? Because there's been a lot of games since the Ireland and England game.
Yeah, but it's funny enough that form fluctuates with different players. Players who were playing really well 4 or 5 months ago, the standards drop with them, some of them who weren't playing very well, it goes up. But the thing is, we've got a group of players that we can rely on, and we always wanted something like a club side, and I feel I'm getting that way. That because of the performance over the last couple of years, I know I can trust players. They players know the system we'd like to play. When we get a couple of players in every now and then who we'd like to see, can they mix with the players? Can they do what we're asking them? And we think Matt is one of them that can do that. And so we give him the opportunity. It's not a trial basis. It's because you don't play well in your first international doesn't mean you say you don't get another game. It's nothing like that. It's a longer picture. Do we see potential there that can help this group along? And this group have done well the last couple of years. So to get in the squad and to get a regular in the squad, then you've got to do well.
How close were Gary Mackay-Steven and Stuart Armstrong? Because I suppose a few people up here might think they've kicked on since they joined Celtic, that they're not in the squad. Well,
first of all, you say, have they kicked on with the same players that they were 5 or 6 months ago? And I'm sure you remember 5 or 6 months ago, we picked these players over a year ago. But there's other players who probably think they might have had a right good chance of being in here. I could probably think about 10, 12 who might be in that. So we have about 13, 14 who probably think themselves a wee bit unlucky not to be in just now. And it's not down to me picking it, it's the players who have played here previous of doing so well, that they are the ones who have got that place in the squad just now, and they deserve that place in the squad. So as I say, there's about 12, 14 who might think they might be in the squad, that's for sure. And I could have easily picked another 12 or 14, as I say, but that's the ones we went with this time.
You mentioned, Gordon, recently about trying now maybe not to pick guys who you'll take away from their families and their clubs for almost a week and then they don't get a game. Is that reflected in the squad?
I think so, yeah. And I spoke to a couple of players and I do feel that when you come along to a squad, especially when you're older, I've been there myself, and I did feel for the players who have never got stripped in the last couple of occasions. And a couple of them have been, a few of them have been left out this time. I've explained to these lads. They know that it's definitely not the end of their international careers. I know I can trust them. I know the rest of the team can trust them. They have the ability to play at this level. But when I look about the teams that maybe pick next 2 games, it's very hard. There's nothing worse than seeing a boy going back for an international duty who's not been stripped. You know, especially with a big family who you might say, well, the footballers, they get on with it. You've got to remember that they don't get paid for this. You know, they do not get paid for this. They do it because they want it. But also get with a younger player to come into the squad, I think it's easy to keep their enthusiasm going, and even just a touch of the squad would be beneficial for them.
Jordan Rhodes is back in. Gordon, is that how much of that's down to his form improving, and how much is it that these games are particularly suitable for him?
Well, it's Jordan's done well recently, and then at the Blackburn side, but there'll be occasions which we feel we can. In the next couple of games that Jordan be definitely useful. There's absolutely no doubt about that. Again, as a person, brilliant with the squad, great, terrific lad, But he's been unfortunate. We've had players in the team who have done terrifically well the last year. There's a lot of stories like that. There's a lot of players unfortunate. But this time, I think, for this squad, Chris Martin's out, and it'd be great to have Jordan back. Mark McGee seen him on Saturday. His finishing was excellent.
How pleased are you to see James Forrest back fit again? Because he's had a troubled season again with fitness.
Yeah, it's great to have James along. Did well when he came on yesterday. It's great to see him there. He has ability to do things that other people can't do. He can eliminate players in today's modern game, where you have people that can do that. It's so beneficial, because teams are so good at defending against passing and crossing that, you know, the art of beating people is still something. It's a real plus, and it'd be great to have him along. Just seem to have him sitting down and say, "This is what we have developed since the last time you're in the squad. This is what we are doing now." And as I say, that we just to sit down and speak to him for a while would be great, because I don't really know him all that well. And the young lads that we have in the squad, I try and find time to sit down and find a lot more about them than just as a footballer.
Is your biggest dilemma maybe again picking your goalkeeper out of the three keepers you've got?
I've got dilemmas at front. I've got dilemmas in midfield. So there is, but that is probably, you know, it's strong a goalkeeping three in international football.
David Marshall still the man in possession?
You'll find out later on. There's no games this week. There's a game next week.
Gordon,
Sorry.
I was going to say to you, did Darren
They pay me
Fletcher?
a Sky. I'm sorry, I need to go and speak to him. Unless you're coming up with $2.5 billion, then you're struggling. You look a nice lad, I'll be there in a second.
Did you speak at all to Darren Fletcher before he made his move to West Brom? Because he appears to be rejuvenated. He's playing much more than he was
Yes,
at Manchester
I've seen him recently at Aston Villa, West Brom. I thought he was terrific. Back to where he was. So that was a real bonus for us, and it's a real bonus for him. Yes, I do speak to Darren now and then. I always felt he was going to move in the January window, and it's been a great move for him, an absolutely great move for him. It's also a great move for West Brom, that's for sure. Sorry.
Looking at the defence, Gordon, how impressed have you been with the form of Mark Reynolds? What does he bring to the squad?
Mark's steady, consistent, you know, and he knows us. He knows what's coming up. He knows the training. He knows the hours that are going to be put in. The players know him, and he's a steady character. That's for sure. And I think that that's what you can see in the Aberdeen side. They're a steady outfit and very hard to beat. And he's a big part of that process. And we're comfortable with him, and he's comfortable with us.
And from the coaching side of things, how big a blow is it to lose Stuart McCall for these couple of games?
Well, I might cut down our Scrabble time and Mr McGee and myself. We'll have to put in some extra work. We will miss his company, we'll miss his input, we'll miss his work. But we feel at this moment in time, Mark and myself and the rest of the coaching staff can all come together and pick up where Stuart's left off, then we can fill that void if we all work. This is like a football side. When you go down to 10 men, the other team the rest of the team get together. So we will do that, and we'll get through these games, and then we'll reassess it before the game in June.
In the long term, do you think it could be possible for him to juggle the whole with Scotland and Wales?
As I say, we'll reassess and look at it after this, and then reassess it end of May.
Gordon, would you echo Ronnie Dyla's comments yesterday in regards to Scott Brown? Does the Scotland captain have to be aware that he's almost 24 hours in the public realm with his conduct?
I think everybody's in the public realm for 24 hours now. Everybody. Even yourself. Everybody is. And that's the way it is in football. So, as I say, 24, everybody's in it.
Do you have any...
I've been listening to relatives arguing on Facebook, talking about that. Oh, get a life.
By a similar token, Gordon, there was an incident with Wayne Rooney last week, and Phil Bardsley, of course, who's been in squads recently. What did you
I've
make
got
of
to
that?
say, I never knew anything about it till this morning.
Didn't see Wayne's
I've never
celebration yesterday.
I seen it last night, yeah. I wasn't sure what it was until this morning.
Is there a line that should be drawn with regards to players in terms of how much scrutiny they should go under when they're out
I
with
think
club
there's a
environment?
line that should be drawn with everybody, not just footballers. There's a line that should be drawn with everybody. And in today's media world, it's a great weapon to have a go at people, social media, by cowards.
So you're unconcerned by the pictures that emerged of Scott Brown in the
Listen, you need to take that up with Celtic. I'm the Scotland manager. And I don't think I've made rules. Nobody's broken anything, nobody's affected anything in the 2.5 years, so I don't have to make rules. The players have been immaculate in their behaviour, on and off the pitch, and I've not made a rule yet. The only one is the alcohol thing, which is for everybody, not just the players. And that's not been broken in 2.5 years. And nothing else has made me or the coaching staff to introduce any sort of rules. The players I've got have been, and I'll repeat what I'm saying again, these players do not get paid for coming here. They leave their families, wives, kids to come here and play a game of football. And on many occasions they get abused from all sections, and they do it for nothing. So the players that I've had here have been absolutely fantastic, and within my jurisdiction, where I look after them, where I'm responsible for them, I'm a coaching staff, they've been absolutely fantastic.
Gordon, you spoke there very highly of your three goalkeepers. Andy Gorham spoke to us, I think it was just last week, and he said something similar, that these three are perhaps as strong as Scotland have ever had. Would you go along with that?
I'd agree with Andy, because I think at times we've had two goalkeepers that have vied against each other who've been very good. It's not often you get three, and I agree with Andy on that one. Yeah.
And Grant Hanley's absent. I think he's injured. Does that underline perhaps a slight scarcity of options for you at centre back?
I would think so. If we're starting to lose any more than this, you know, as I say, from being very strong in one area, then maybe some scarce in certain areas as well. And as I say, we're strong in a couple of areas and weaker in a couple, that's for sure.
What are the advantages of playing Northern Ireland before the Gibraltar game?
Well, first of all, the players, when we get together, you don't know that 4 months ago when you take this game on. You think you know fine well that you're going to have players who need more game time and players who need less. You're not sure who they are until this point. At this point, we've got an idea who needs more and who needs less. As I say, I couldn't have told you a way back then, but that's why we had the game. Some players are definitely needing the friendly game, and some players can do without it. You know, they're already there. They need to be looked after a bit. So I'm glad we've got this game.
Are you of a mind to take on a similar friendly ahead of the Ireland game in June? Because there'll be a bit of...
Yeah, definitely thinking about that. Yeah, again, we don't know who's got to be... You've got to look at every advantage. You can't tell who's got to be in the playoffs in English, who's in the cup finals. You can't tell, but you've got to take that game on, because there might be players. We had this situation in Croatia a couple of years ago where there's players that were actually on holiday before the Croatia game, because they don't get much time, footballers, so I can see why they take their families away, but it was very hard to get them back into the rhythm of playing, and saying that, we did one.
This is the
last couple, please.
This is, I think, the first international since Sean Maloney went over to the United States. Did he speak to you about that move, and is there any concern there?
Yeah, again, it shows you the pride they take, and I've heard that a few times recently. Will it affect my Scotland career? Some lads who spoke to me, as long as you're playing at high level, and again, I've got to remember how well Sean has been playing for us over the last year. He's been absolutely fantastic. So he's not going to lose that magic in a couple of months, that's for sure. And he's a guy that's super fit as well. So, and that league is getting better as well.
Given that both squads know each other so well, Gordon, is there a danger this could be too competitive before the big game?
No, I don't think so. I think we're looking just for the right level of competitive spirit. We'll get that, that's for sure. I don't think so. There's respect here, which is good, even for the both coaching staffs. So I think it's there all the way through, and I wouldn't see anything untoward. I think we've got to use this game and treat it right, because if you try and take your foot off the pedal here, then you're no right for the next game.